everybody. Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Today's topic is types of women that serious men want. The types of women that serious men want. Before we get started, I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all the new viewers, the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now, to get us started, I did pull a short video. Let's watch this video, and then we're going to dive right into this topic. Types of women that serious men want. Here we go.
Most men are out here trying to choose the best suited partner for them. Whether he got a good job, he making good money. He don't want the woman that's out there like that. He don't want the woman with a past. He don't want the woman with all the baggage. He don't want the woman with all the experience. He don't want a woman that dated athletes, unless they're an athlete themselves, or unless they're in the entertainment business, unless they're influencer. Women could get mad at it all they want, but that's just the truth. If you were to ask most men, would they rather take a woman that's been flown out to certain different places, certain different countries, or would they rather take a woman that's never been nowhere and that they could possibly be the first person to be able to introduce them to that type of lifestyle or to take them somewhere? Most guys would take the woman with the less experience.
Now, we do have a letter, and she entitles her letter, How Do Men Choose the Right Partner? All right. Number one, it depends on who the man is. He's only going to be choosing the right partner for him. All right. It's an individual thing. All right. Let's go into this letter and see what she says. I wanted to ask your advice on what young men should look for when choosing a girlfriend or a wife. Qualities, life stages, or a criteria you feel is important for both the woman and the man. As a mother of 3 boys, I'd love to hear your wisdom on how I can guide them in making such an important life decision when the time comes. Okay, I have boys too. And I try to lead by example. It doesn't always work out that way, but most times it does. Number one, I talk to my boys about, you got to know where these women come from. You got to know their background. You need to meet their parents, see what kind of stock they come from. And talk about, their beliefs and habits and things that they do. And being around her family, you get to see the dynamics that go on there before you commit to her. All right. Now, the other thing I tell my boys is to look at her mother. Look at the mother. And you can just about tell how she's going to pan out. And it doesn't matter if, how thin she is or how beautiful she is right now. Look at the mother. Because she may blossom right into that. And most times she will. All right. Now, the other thing is, you want to know if she is a kind-hearted person. A person that likes animals. If she likes animals, pretty much she's a kind-hearted person. She looks good without makeup. That's a plus. Because, in today's world, these women are coming out here with eyelashes out the head. They done plumped up their lips. They've added all kind of things to their bodies and everything. And the makeup, I tell you, when some women take off that makeup, they don't look anything like they did with the makeup. A serious man wants a woman who looks good without makeup. All right. And I'm an advocate for that because I threw my makeup away years ago. I don't wear any makeup. Now, another thing, she honors her parents. All right. Now, I realize that she may come from a background like me, where my parents weren't all that, you see, but I respect them. So you want her to at least respect her parents. All right. Now, she's not hungry for money. You don't want your sons to hook up with a woman and she's only with them because she needs somebody to support her. No, she's not hungry for money. All right? Maybe she comes from a family with something. That would be ideal. All right? Because your boys are striving to be the best that they can be. And they want a woman who's doing the same thing. Now, men like this, they want a woman who's loyal. Then she's going to support him. She's not going to stab him in the back. You don't want a woman like that you can't trust. So loyalty is a big thing. It's a big thing for me. You know, if I'm with a partner, I want to know that I can trust him. And I want to know he has my back. And men want the same thing. They want a woman that's going to stand by them and support them. They're looking for a woman who's emotionally stable, not a needy fish. You don't want a woman who's needy. You want a woman who can handle difficult situations and can solve problems, can find solutions with a rational head. Not a woman who's all over the place, doesn't know how to handle business, and is looking for others to solve her problems. You want a woman who is stable, emotionally stable. You don't want a woman who's bipolar, a woman who's partially schizophrenic or narcissistic or anything like that. You want a woman who knows who she is and who loves herself. A woman who is not afraid to apologize when she feels she is wrong. She doesn't have a problem apologizing, and she doesn't like to argue. She likes peace and harmony. These women can bring happiness into your life, and she can forgive. You want a woman who has a forgiving spirit. So when trouble arises in the relationship, she can forgive and move on. She is not interested in other men when she's with you. No other man can come and just sweep her off her feet and take her away from you, which means she's not swayed by a better looking man or a man with more money. She's happy with who she's with. This is the kind of woman that you can depend on, that you can trust and give your heart to. And she is willing to give her best to the relationship. She's not a taker. She's a giver. See, there's a difference. There are too many women out here who go into the relationship to take. And you have to be careful of that because they show up in the beginning. These women would use whatever techniques to get whatever they want out of you. You don't want a trickster and you don't want a parasite. Women, don't be that. Don't be that. If you are independent and self-sufficient, you won't be that. And that's what I encourage you to do. And these are the kind of women that your sons should seek out. Now, you didn't tell me how old your sons were, I don't think. But you did say boys. So they're young boys. And at this time in their lives, maybe they're just looking for a girlfriend. They're not wifey minded yet because, I believe that young men should wait before they marry. They should be self-sufficient and very stable before they select a wife. That's my belief. Now, a girlfriend, if they just want a girlfriend to have some fun with and that kind of thing because they're young, well, you still want somebody who's loyal, somebody who's emotionally stable. You don't want a girl who's going to tear up your son's stuff whenever she gets angry. That's not being emotionally stable. You don't want a girl who's stalking one of your sons. They don't want that kind of thing. Your sons really need to see what kind of family this girl comes from. Because if you see their family, you can get a pretty good idea of what kind of stock she's coming from and what kind of energy she's going to be bringing to you. If she was raised in a house with a lot of negativity going on all the time, drinking, fighting, fussing, things like that, you better think twice. No matter how nice she is, she still has that energy that she's going to bring to you. And she's used to seeing it, especially if it's abusive behavior. She's used to it. It's in her energy. Be very careful. So I advise my sons to look at the background, and the background will tell a lot. Now, the other thing is, in today's world, your sons need to look at the family album. They need to look at the family album, at her family album, because you want to make sure that this girl that you're dealing with started off as a girl. Because in today's society, a lot of these trans people are not transparent until after you've gotten involved with them. And then, then they want to say something. No, you need to see pictures of her growing up. Did she start off as a girl? Because a lot of people today, they're not honest. And you want a girl who's a girl, not a girl who's trying to dominate men. And there are some girls out there who hate men. You see? So they go in either using men or to dominate them. And a lot of that comes from the way that they were raised. That's why I say it's so important to look at the family. And I teach my boys to do that, and I hope that they listen. Sometimes they listen and sometimes they don't. Sometimes you'll find that your boys will go out there and deal with some undesirable people, and then they have to learn the lesson of hard knocks. But then your voice will ring true in their ears, and maybe they come to their senses. All right, because many young boys are swayed by women who enhance themselves sexually. Because young boys, they got sex on the brain. So when they see these women out here with the big bottoms and the big boobs and makeup all around and hair all the way down to the floor and stuff like that, many of them will gravitate toward that. Now, whether they'll make it their girlfriends or not, but they need to know the difference in a girl to take seriously and a playgirl. And I don't endorse playgirls, but many of the playgirls are out there to entrap men because they're looking for support. You got to be careful about that. And ladies, those of you who have boys growing up, sit down and talk to them and share whatever wisdom that you have with them and be honest with them. And don't forget to have the sex talk with your boys. I started having sex talk with my boys when they were little. Little. Don't allow anybody to touch you. Don't allow anybody to do this. Don't allow anybody to do that to you. Things like that. And then I brought out the condoms. Don't have sex without a condom. Ever. You got to teach your boys that. Don't rely on the school or the church to train your boys for you. You do it. You make sure that they have the information that they need to go out into the world. And it will be a lot less heartbreak for them if you, as a good mother, sit down and school them yourself. Tell them. Be honest with them. And don't be shy when it comes to the sex talk. Just tell it plain. Tell it plain. I told my boys how not to get a girl pregnant. I was very clear with them about it, how it happens. Tell them. Because if you don't tell them, somebody in the street is going to tell them, and they will glamorize it like it's some wonderful thing to do. And then your kid will want to go out there and experience that wonderful thing and could get caught up with disease, or pregnancies. Talk to your boys. And another thing, don't send your boys off to other men to train them. I don't agree with that. You know, I hear a lot of men say, a woman can't raise a boy, only a man can. Well, with these men out here today, a lot of them on the down low, gay, just no good. I wouldn't want them saying anything to my boys at all. I wouldn't want it because they would be an influence on them. And don't be so quick to send your boys off these mentoring camps for young boys. Don't send your boys over there. No, because, you know, later on, you'll find out that the people running the camp was at Puffy's parties. Many of them are predators for young boys. Don't send your boys off there. It's the same thing as, you know, the Catholics sending their boys off to the Catholic Church to be altar boys. Be careful of your boys. Be very clear with them about what's going on in the world, so that when they go out there and listen to what their friends are telling them, which many times is not correct information, when they go out there, at least they will have some grounding from what you have tried to teach them. So I hope that I've said something that can help, and I hope you understand. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you for your comments and your letters. And a very special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. And I really hope to see you next time.